This is the Homework Tutors. This video will cover the STAAR test for 5th grade math. This is based off the March 2017 sample. Keep in mind that the 5th graders will have a reference sheet at the beginning of the test that will refer to give you equations over perimeter, area, and volume, and then also give you reference materials on lengths, volume, and capacity, and weight and mass, along with some graph paper at the front. So let's get started with number 1. Amber saved a total of $3.20 over 5 weeks. She saved the same amount of money each week. How much money did Amber save? So we know that she saved a total of $3.20, and she saved the same amount each week. So this is a division problem because we need to find out how much did she save each week equally. Once you divide, you will get 64 cents per week. If you have time and you want to check yourself, all you would do is multiply 64 cents times 5, and that's how you would check yourself on that one. Number 2. A scientist compared two measurements, 13.068 kilograms and 13.608 kilograms. Which symbol makes this comparison true? The answer is G. We know that 13, before the decimal place, we know that 13 is equal. It's the numbers after the decimal place that's important. 0.068 is less than 0.608. It's just, I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. 608 is, think of it like this, 608 is bigger than 68. Same thing. That's what that's basically saying. 0.068 is 68. 0.608 is 608. 608 is bigger. Number 3. Emily has a box shaped like a rectangular prism that is full of sugar cubes. Each sugar cube has a volume of 1 cubic centimeter. The top layer has a width of 6 centimeters and a length of 11 centimeters. There are 3 layers of sugar cubes. How many cubes are in the box? So this is, to figure this out, you have to multiply. You have to multiply the length times the width times the depth, which is the 3 layers. So we're multiplying all 3 of those numbers. When you multiply all those together, you'll get 198. Number 4. The shaded part of the model represents a fraction. Another fraction was subtracted from the first fraction. What expression does the model represent? So on the screen, I drew that we have 5 going across. So we have 5 as our width. We have 3 going down. So I know we have a total of 15 boxes. If you actually sat down and counted all those, you would get 15. But if you know multiplication, as you should in 5th grade, 5 by 3 is 15. So we know we have a total of 15 boxes. Out of the 15 boxes, we have 11 of them that is actually shaded. Then we have to find out what is the amount that's crossed out. We have to represent what's crossed out, which when you cross something out, we're taking away. So therefore that makes it a subtraction problem. We have 6 out of the total 15 that's crossed out. When we put 6 for our first, we have 11 over 15. That's in simplest form. And then the crossed out amount is going to be 6 over 15. But we know that's not in the simplest form because we can divide that by 3 and then we'll get 2/5. And that's why J is your answer. Number 5. The relationship between numbers in list X and list Y follow the rule Y equals X plus 2.05. Which diagram shows this relationship? So the first thing I did was I just went to A and I took 29.1 and I added 2.05 to see if I would get 31.6. As you can see, I did not get 31.6, I got 31.15. So therefore, that means A cannot be the answer. I then went down to B, and but actually before you even go to B, I looked across. If you notice, A and C, they have the same numbers for X. They all have the 29.1 is in both 34.1, 39.1, 44.1. Notice those are both the same. So now that I've already calculated for A, 29.1 plus 2.05 is 31.15, before I even move to B, I can look across and see C has list Y as my answer. The 29.1, and it has list Y as 31.15, which I know is the answer. So I automatically know that's my answer, which it is. Now, as I went down with B, if you just feeling thoughtful for whatever reason, or you have some extra time you're just checking your answers or whatever, I did 31.5 plus the 2.05, and you see that it does not match the list Y outcome, which just reaffirms my point that C is your answer. But for the sake of the test, once you see that with C, you know that's your answer. I will move on. I will only come back and extra check if you have extra time at the end of the test. Number 6. A rectangular billboard is 9.35 meters wide and 6.82 meters tall. What is the perimeter of the billboard in meters? Record your answer and fill in the bubbles on your answer document. Be sure to use the correct place value. So it's going to be one you have to as you can see, this problem is not an A, B, C, D multiple choice problem. So, makes you think a little more. You don't have that easy 25% chance of getting it right, basically. So, on the reference sheet, it does give you the equation for perimeter. On the reference sheet, it does show it as 2L plus 2W, which means the length times 2, the width times 2. Or, as you see how I wrote, length plus width. Basically, add all four sides. You can do either way, whichever makes you comfortable. If you like multiplying, you want to do it that way, that's fine. Or you can do it the second way where you just add all the sides. And as you see in my example, that's what I did. I added all the sides. I did the length first twice, added the width, and then added the width. And that's how you get your final answer. Either way works perfectly fine. I guess it's just preference if you like multiplying or adding. Even with the multiplying, you're still going to have to add them anyway. So that's why I just added all the sides. But either way works. You should get the same answer if you're doing it correctly. Number 7. The stem leaf plot shows the number of minutes the members of a team jump rope during practice. And then it shows the stem leaf plot here. The question is, what is the difference between the least number of minutes jump and the greatest number of minutes jump? So, as you see, it has a little example down there how you're supposed to read the stem leaf. So, when it has the number, so let's just do number 1. It has the 1, and then it has, on the stem side, it has, the leaf is 9, it has 2 9s there. What that is saying is, it has 19 twice. Okay, the stem is the first number, is your tens place number, and the leaf is your ones place number. And depending on how many times it repeats on the leaf side is how many different numbers it is. So for number 1, I'll do for stem 1 and stem 2. If you was to write this out in order, you would write 19, 19, 20, 21, 23. That's how the stem leaf plots work. Okay, so now we have to find the least and greatest. So the least is 19, the greatest is 66. You look at the 6, you go all the way to the end, 6. It won't be 63, it's not the first number of the leaf. It has to be the last number because we're looking for the largest number. You simply subtract those and you get a difference of 47. Lastly, number 8. The math team does drills that each last 1/6 of an hour. In February, the team did the practice drill for a total of 24 hours. How many practice drills did the team do in February? So, we need to divide 1/6 into 24. As you know, or as you might not know, when you're doing fractions, when we divide, we never divide them like that. We always flip the second equation, called the reciprocal. We flip the second equation. I'm sorry, not equation. We flip the second fraction, and then we multiply. We change it to a multiplication problem. For whole numbers, you always put it over 1 when you have to deal with them with fractions. So we got the 24 over 1. Now we're multiplying because we flipped from 1/6 and we flipped it over to 6 over 1. So now we have 24 over 6. When you multiply that, you're going to get 144. And that's going to be over 1. As you should know, any number divided by 1 is itself. So that gives us an answer of 144. And that concludes the math test. Hopefully you guys do well on your test. Good luck.